Hi and welcome everyone. My name is Bruce Swartz. I study ufology, astronomy, and I have an amazing community. I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing. Really helps that you take the time to do so. It's my full-time job and it means a lot when you do and it helps a lot. Thanks. And thanks to all new members. Patreon, everything. Guys, the support is amazing. It was much needed and it's greatly appreciated. So, remember this object? Objects? This is a massive industrial complex or something, or the moon's a machine. Here is a negative image, a real image of the moon in just a negative shot. We're going to see this area in an exquisite way. Probably the closest we'll be able to see it so far. Look at that. You see the difference that one filter did? I'm making a video about it. Yep, that's me. Every time I clarify it, you see that guitar frame to the bottom right there. We're going to check other angles closer than I showed it to you. And again, just a bit more sharpened. It's incredible. That's probably the sharpest I'll get it. And you can see that there is a blur on the surface. And nothing blurry here, my friends. We're just so damn close to the surface. Right before the pixelation point where I stopped, and we see a beautiful, beautiful surface. Manipulating I am the exposure. That's what I'm doing, taking the exposure down to see these objects. So now what do you think of this? And what about the connections that are around it? You literally see a triangular object at the head of it there. There it is again. A couple of filters here. We're not done. This is incredible. It's an amazing area. What is it, right? Who could have built this on the surface? But you could clearly see the lines there. It really looks like a framing on the surface. What about this one? Isn't that ridiculous? Something in the center here. And you can see after that, I'm going to invert it, and we're going to see, quite simply, that object in the center of the crater. So those are different simple ways of filtering the surface. And it's not the filter that's showing us the surface. It's just an aid to the eye, quite basically. Newise, I had got Newise did a video a couple of weeks back when, of course, it went by. And there's an object or objects that were seen beside both in front and on the tail of Newise. We'll take a look at that in infrared and at the same time close up, slowed down. Look at this object. We can see the solar winds crossing right through it here at one point. Watch it. There it is. Boom. It breaks up, right? Because it's going behind, in front of Newise. We're also going to see an asteroid or UFO that goes behind Neowise's tail, and something seems to come from that UFO, so we're going to slow it down a lot more. So this is that object breaking up, going by in front of Newise. Pretty cool. Had a really nice show of people at the live streams today. I really appreciate it. And take the time to watch at least one of the streams, the earliest one, if you guys want to get the information. I'll be updating about space news and about science, anything new between the live streams that come up that are important and interesting. Like today we were talking about neuroscience. Yeah, it won't be too often hearing me talk about neuroscience, but in reality, it's something really interesting. They're now having glowing proteins that are going to be activated by light that could alter behavior. Yeah, that's a little scary. Here's Newise, and there's that object I'm showing you front and back. It's one of three there. Did you see that? Up and down. And this one's going straight across, but it seems to have something coming from it the minute it gets to the tail, and literally looks like it shoots something upwards and then downwards. We're going to see it in close-up detail, but first I want to show you the forward and the backwards. Oh, and that's true. The fourth one. There's another one here. Is this object, when it went through the tail, it caught on fire. So obviously maybe just, a falling star, but my gosh, was it close, or a sliver of an asteroid that went through the tail and just caught on fire? I don't know. It must have been pretty big. It looks pretty big going by in the tail like that. So this is a nice shot of it to be able to see. I was happy to see the fire at the back, just the tail end, the gas coming off of Newise. I would have loved to have seen it a lot clearer. Here's the slow motion now of that object going at the back. It's a nice shot. There's that line that went up. Did you see it? And then it goes downwards. I'll get a circle up for you. it's maybe hard to see. It jumped in my face right away. You can see a couple frames here. Two more frames, and we'll see it. One. Let's see. Next frame, you'll see the line. There you go. It's not much, but you can see it as this is going by. And of course, these things are going by pretty fast. Not always at all, ever easy to see them. But when you slow them down, we see a bunch of cool stuff. Well, my friends, if you're just arriving to the channel, the moon has UFOs on it, and they're circulating under the hazes of the moon. So that means pressed up on the surface, we're seeing real lights rotating also, projectiles coming from them, going to and from them, objects appearing beside them, and all on the surface. Not seen in infrared. This is seen with a regular $5,000 camera, the D850. Here's another one. When I was setting up the telescope, I was not in focus. I was just putting the telescope out there. But we see that object spiraling around. Looks like it's got a tail end on it. Listen, guys, there's 25,000 pieces of debris out there, right? Including 3,200 satellites, so they say, that are being tracked. But now, why would 3 lights or objects illuminate at the same time under a cloud or a haze? Look at the cloud move over, guys. The cloud's there. It's hiding that underneath. But when it moves over, oops, you see signs of the surface that also it's a colorful surface. So underneath that bloody cloud or haze, we're looking at a green surface. I mean, depending on your monitors, I see it coming up. My ass refracting light. That's enough there, trolls, about the refracting light there. Not everything's refracting light there. The surface is colorful. Somebody during the live stream, here's a light lighting up and lights up on the other side. I forgot to talk to him about the rust. Are there signs of rust? Yes, there are. So this light's at the live stream. Sorry about that. So look what happens. How can one light illuminate and another light hundreds of kilometers away? It's because there's a light system on the surface. With the filtering, simple filtering, look at this. You got to get a nice shot to get this image. But we're seeing the surface, the way it's made. Two objects of interest, like a smoking tower on the left, but out of the two circles, look at the one on the right. Not that one, that one. That is definitely a constructed base. Watch as we zoom into that area. Thanks so much for the ongoing support, everyone. Dale Adamson, Crawlface, everyone, contributors at the live stream, thanks y'all. What? Sisters of the Swartz. Carry on.
This is Houston. Say again, please.